Hey guys, my name's Justin. I'm with Morningside Nature Center, and it's really awesome to be talking with y'all at Howard Bishop because that's where I went to school also. And if it's anything like it was when I was there, bird watching probably isn't at the top of the cool list. So I'm here to tell you guys a little bit about why I like birds and what we're going to be doing. So number one, reason I like birds is because I get to be outside. Being outside has always been super important to me, and as I've gotten older, I've realized just why. It kind of helps me release things that are going on in my head. It helps me to bring myself back to center, and it helps me to take that brain muscle that's clenched up and just kind of let it relax, right? And that's just very important for your mental health, just like you're doing exercise is important for your body. Number two is that I love seeing animals, and birds are very abundant. The more you look for them, the more you realize they're probably the most abundant animal you'll see in any given day. So I really like to get to see birds, and they've just got all kinds of cool behavior, colors, patterns, calls. They're great. So hopefully we'll get you guys on board with birds as well by the end of this program. So thinking about our interactions with nature and wildlife, it's been changing as humans are developing and expanding. And think about the question of what's the relationship between a natural area and the community around that natural area. On a broad level, we have things like fragmentation. So think about a big piece of habitat. You've got a road going through it. All of a sudden, it's not that big piece of habitat anymore. It's two smaller pieces that aren't nearly as useful. If you guys have ever seen roadkill, you know that animals don't like to cross roads unless they have to. Buildings as well, they can start breaking up habitat. And as people are coming in, you get things like light pollution and sound pollution. So animals that hunt at night, like an owl, needs the darkness to be able to hunt. All that extra light kind of messes it up. Birds that use calls to communicate with each other, all the sound and extra things going on in a city or a community could disturb them as well, right? And then of course, when people are building, they've got to build somewhere. And I've seen a lot of trees get cut down in the past and recently for things like apartment complexes and all this new stuff going up. But on the plus side, land can also be set aside for protection. And this happens when a community gets together and decides it's important to save land. And so that's really important when you think about a group, right? You need everybody to be on board to protect land as well. So going forward, think about some animals that you may have seen in your own neighborhood. Some animals are better at adapting to humans than others. So maybe things like raccoons, armadillos, possums, and then of course birds. Sometimes they're so common you just take them for granted, but they're all over the place. And one reason birds are really good at adapting to humans is that they can fly. And so all these little pieces of habitat that may have been fragmented by human development, they're kind of like in a sea of human development, and birds can take advantage of that, and they can fly from island to island and use what's there. So these little pieces are a little bit more connected for them than for other animals. Another reason birds are really good at being around humans is because they're smart. And especially crows, they can learn where humans are leaving food or trash. If you put a bird feeder out, it just takes a little while before birds start to come to that bird feeder. They're also really good at taking advantage of things like artificial wetlands and ponds, which is why we're really excited to be working with y'all as well, because you guys have kind of a blank slate of an area out there that's really cool. And when you guys start to learn more about it, you can see you can take a developed area and add some kind of element of nature to it and make it way more useful for birds, wildlife, and for people. We like to be in good natural areas too. So we're really excited as you guys go forward, you'll have some buy-in as to what's going to happen with this site. For now, we're going to be using it to gather some data and gain some insight into bird behavior. So we're going to be going out there. We've got 2 locations. Each location has 2 feeders. And we're going to be measuring not only the amount of birds that visit those feeders, but also what kind of birds are coming to the feeders. And we're going to use that data, we're going to analyze it and try to see what it's showing us, what kind of patterns are there, so that we can make more informed decisions about where to put our bird feeders going forward. And also for you guys, as you're developing that site, where is the best place to put your bird feeders? So before we can get more into that, you guys need to know what kind of birds you're looking at. So this is where this video is going to end. I'm going to turn it over to Wendy. She's going to teach you guys a little bit about bird identification.